Essential to seeing a movement happen is the intentional development of reproducing leaders. In this chapter, we're going to talk about some of the key relationships that every reproducing leader has. They'll have followers. To be a leader, you got to have followers. They'll have apprentices, people they're investing in. They'll also have peers, people they're doing life together with. And they'll have coaches, people who are helping them become what they could never be on their own. Here's Tammy Melching to explain a little more about that.
Well, I think my passion for developing leaders really came from my own desire to be developed. I remember back when I was a college student and my faith first became alive to me, and I began to discover that some of the gifts and the talents that God had given me could be used to further His purposes. I just started finding myself really wanting someone to pour into me, to develop me, and it wasn't that easy to find. And so after a time, I thought, well, I'm going to start being that for other people. What I want for myself, I'm going to start being that for other people. And so I began mentoring other college students, began studying the Bible together with them, studying leadership books together. And in time, God did bring into my life a couple women who really poured into me. My friends Laura and Monica are two that come to mind that spent a lot of time helping me think through tough questions in my life. Just taught me by their own example and by conversations we'd have over lunch or over coffee. And actually one of them, Laura, I got the chance to go and serve as an intern with her in ministry for a year, and that was an incredible experience for me to be developed on my own. And just receiving that from those women also just increased my passion to be developing other men and women to use their gifts in the church and in ministry and really just in relationships and in their lives as a whole. I remember when I first came here to Community Christian Church, I joined the children's ministry staff, and I had two women that were on my staff in very part-time 5-hour-a-week roles. And one of them, her name was Carrie. And when I looked at Carrie, I could see all this potential, but maybe not a lot of confidence in her about her ability to be used. And I remember when I first joined the ministry, we used to gather together with all of the contributors before we'd have the service, and we would share prayer requests, and then someone would pray. And when I first started, Carrie wouldn't even pray out loud. I mean, that thought was terrifying to her. But just over the course of months and the next couple of years, as I tried to develop her as a leader, as I had IC and U conversations with her about how I felt like God could use her, as I tried to develop her and then challenged her to be developing people that she was caring for and that were reporting to her, I just began to see that confidence grow and began to see her gifts come out and be used more fully. And this is now, a good 7 years later. And last year at some point, I went to see her kind of speak and share her testimony at our support and recovery service. I think this year 2 times she has she's put together a message and taught our students down at our Romeoville campus. And just to see her using upfront gifts in front of people that 7 years ago she wouldn't even pray out loud is tremendously encouraging to me. I think one of the things when you begin to invest your life into other people and into developing them, one of the greatest joys is seeing them then live out these qualities and these gifts that God has given them, and begin to not only live those out, but then in turn begin to develop other people. There have been multiple times where I've stopped into Starbucks and seen Carrie meeting with her apprentice, Stephanie, as she is pouring into her and helping her grow, not only as a person in the ministry, but also in her own walk with Jesus.